Welcome to another episode of That Crazy Triangle Guy. Here we are looking at Bitcoin US dollar index on the 4 hour chart. And there are a lot of lines. The chart is getting filled up with lines. But you can see they're all really, really symmetrical. Now, what we're doing, we've obviously been in this consolidation bull flag channel coming down this way. Very, very accurately defined. And we've hit bottom. We've come out the bottom of the daily Gaussian channel, and that usually results, unless we're in a bear market, in a bounce and reversal back up through it, and then a retest, and then off to the races. And we are clearly, so we are reversing, and clearly reversing in this direction. Now, these orange lines I've pulled from this green line back here. I had that there a long time ago, defining kind of like a trend line, defining our rally here since October 23. And it's been a trend line we've stuck to over there. Yeah, we fell below it there. I have to go, I do have to more accurately look at these things. It depends on what time frame you're looking on them too. So, yeah, you see if we clone this one, just add more lines to the chart, you can see you can just see how we've traveled in this slope like that. This is a big channel that we've been traveling upwards in, defining the slope of our travels. So clearly, I believe we are ready to continue in that direction. Now, what's really, really funny is that I drew this group here of all these green lines defining the triangle formation that we are right here in a very small time frame, defining this triangle consolidation here. And then I realized when I zoomed out that those lines are just about perfectly parallel. They're a little bit off, but they're almost parallel with all these other lines. The orange lines I pulled from this one back here. So obviously everything's all syncing up, and so you remember on my most recent video this weekend how I was talking about this consolidation within this triangle, called this target here, wasn't sure which one we were going to do, and I kind of hinted at that we were probably going to do both. And it was really, really funny to hear everybody talking about afterwards what events caused these actions, when in reality the chart was telling us exactly what we were going to do before any news events came out about what were they saying? This was, I forget what they said this move was, and then this was because SEC was suing whatever, the next entity that it's suing, Robinhood. But that's not the reason. The reason is because that's what we were going to do anyway. The news just helped facilitate these moves. And when we did pump up here, come back down here, still we're consolidating in this triangular region. You can see clearly right here we retested the top of that channel we'd been the bull flag channel that we'd been consolidating in for a month or so, and moving onwards in a slope where we are clearly coming down to these lines here. It looks a little different on a 4 hour. On the hourly, they hit exactly on those those lines actually. Let's switch to an hourly. Let's just see that, unless my lines have moved around. You can see they hit pretty accurately here. Boom, boom, boom. And then this one right here, this one right here, this one right there, right there. This our most recent candle is hitting right there. So we are consolidating in this region, coming to a head. What I would like to see, I'd like to see us then bust a move upwards. I'm not measuring anything here. I don't really have anything clearly to measure, but I'd like to see us bust a move up through the mean band of the Gaussian channel on Wednesday, or the end of the day tonight, probably in the with the Asian market trading. Hopefully we bust a move up here and then hold this as support, the mean band, and we would be entering into our white channel. That is the key in the beginning of our parabolic bull market, which I've discussed many, many, many times on this channel. And this is the bottom of that channel. The top being up around 75,000, which is a target I have drawn right here. And so basically I'm just getting this out. It's sloppy, but I wanted to get my thoughts out. I got to clean things up a little bit. So I would like to see this happen and hold this as support. Now, that wouldn't necessarily be forming any patterns. I did there's kind of I discussed a head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders pattern with like a head here, shoulder here, and a big head here. That's potentially, regardless of how textbook these patterns are, it's clearly a reversal pattern of some sort. It doesn't have to be a clear, like he looks like that's a head and shoulders. There's like a move here, and a move here. Now, do we continue this move here and we have this little tiny head and shoulders, or is this part of and now I have to switch to the 4 hour because I don't have enough room, or is this part of a larger head and shoulders pattern with this orange line here as the neckline, and this would be the shoulder. This is kind of a head and shoulders shaped head, and then we do come back down here to the bottom of our daily Gaussian channel and form the final shoulder here. Problem is we have the CPI data coming out here on April 15th, where this vertical line marks. If we form, I imagine that's going to cause some pretty volatile movement, either upwards or downwards, at least initially. Now, maybe we just, continue this pattern that we're doing, a little upwards and then a dump, a little upwards and a dump into this data release, and then boom, come back up, we hit the neckline. I don't know. So that's one thought. It's a couple different things. Could be forming that big head and shoulders, could be forming this little head and shoulders, or possibly we're so bullish that we just come up here. I'd like to see us come up between these two X's here and hold this as support and continue moving on here. Regardless of the scenario, those are the cases I see. I don't see a dump any further downward here, unless there's the world collapses or something. But as you can see here, the overall movement after we get this straightened out here is upwards this way. And then by June, now I don't mean to say that we're going to stick to this thick band of lines here. There's a channel formation here. So we would be coming up and oscillating up in this channel like this. Or, traveling here a little bit, coming up like that a little bit, maybe coming back down a little bit in the various steps of the channels that we form. And what's interesting with this now, it may be a little bit off because I haven't drawn these lines clearly on they have to be anchored on like Monday at 0 hours in order for them to translate at the same slope on other time frames like daily and weekly time frames. But I haven't done that, and they look to be like they're going pretty nicely. A lot of times, some of them will crisscross or whatever, and they might be a little bit off. But if you consider this channel and you go out here to like December 24, oh, that's a lot. How about November? Mid-November, we're up around 250,000. Now, probably what would happen is that we travel up in this channel, have a little correction, travel up in the channel, have a little correction, travel up in the channel. So we get to something like 250,000. This channel would shift over. But yeah, I see us. See us up there. I see us way up there by the end of the year. And needless to say, so see, for example, like see how we traveled up here, shifted over, traveled up here, shifted over. So probably travel up here. Oops, let me get my little thing. Travel up here, shift over, travel up here, and so on and so forth. You get the picture. So we would really be up maybe around 200, give or take, around the end of the year. Something like that. All right, so I'll straighten this mess out, clean this chart up, and get back to you later. All right.